eating healthily. And in fact, Cookie Monster, who historically has always eaten cookies, now talks about the fact that cookies are sometimes food and that fruits and vegetables are an every time food. And we know that the scene for Sesame Street has also changed. So if you remember it 40 years ago, it was very kind of gritty looking urban landscape with the trash cans and the brownstones. And now it's all about green spaces, and they talk about yoga, and they talk about tofu. What also has changed, and I think some of these things are also kind of startling, is that the number of children watching TV has really increased. And it's not just children in terms of teenagers, but preschoolers. What we do know is that the average preschooler, again, ages 2 through 5, watches 25 hours of TV per week. And that doesn't include how much TV or how much computer or DVD use they have, and that's about another 7 hours per week. So it's pretty astounding how much TV young people are watching these days. And Sesame Street has become less and less popular over the time, and in fact now the most popular show among the 2 to 5 demographic is Go Diego Go. So I think there's a lot that's changed when it comes to Sesame Street, but we certainly wish them a happy birthday, and we also hope that parents really think about the programming for their kids and the amount of TV that their children are watching.
That's very true. I remember watching all of those with my children, and I actually enjoyed it. It was very simple. It was very nice, and my kids enjoyed it. And I still like comics in that arena. I don't like these Star Trek kind of comics. So maybe I'm old-fashioned, but congratulations for being 40, and you've been a part of many children growing up.
In other news, the Obama administration has recently nominated a smart young Indian American physician to head USAID. Now, Rajiv Shah is currently Chief Scientist and Undersecretary of Agriculture for Research, Education, and Economics at the Department of Agriculture. Prior to serving as Undersecretary, he was actually head of a $1.5 million vaccine campaign for the Gates Foundation. And he also served as a health policy advisor for Vice President Al Gore during his presidential campaign. So he certainly comes with a wonderful CV. I know that he's now in the process of going through the nomination process in the Senate, but we certainly hope that he does get appointed.
They're called the new power couple. According to India Abroad, Shil Malik, his wife, has been appointed at the Department of Education in a top position. So talk about a power couple. 2 young children, that's Indian Americans, well educated, well involved with the community, ready to serve the country. Couldn't have better people than this.
Well, we congratulate them both, and we certainly wish them well.
Folks, poker is becoming one of the most popular game in this country. Watching poker is like watching water boil. How do you enjoy that? For years now, I used to see it, I never enjoyed it, but lately I find myself really attracted to it. The last tournament of World Poker, it was amazing. There was a logger out of Maryland who has never played professional poker, actually got number 2. He won $5 million in it.
But he lost to a 21-year-old that had only been doing it pretty recently as well.
That's right. That's very young. 21 years old. He had the stamina to be a poker player with a poker face, more like he was lucky. I enjoy poker. I'm not the very best player, but I want to tell you, I have played with some very good players. It is a tough mental game to be on at all times. You can lose money, folks, so don't try it if you're not interested in the side effects of gambling.
Well, it brings up this interesting issue about poker becoming really popular, and what we do know is that it's becoming very popular among young people. In fact, there was this fascinating book that came out called 21, and it was about a group of MIT students that really wanted to understand the strategy behind gambling and started to out-gamble the big casinos and made a lot of money and ended up getting in big trouble as a result. But it was this whole concept of the strategy behind it. But we also know that online gambling and online poker is becoming really fad, particularly again among this college student demographic, and it certainly can be addictive. So again, I think it's okay to indulge in an occasional game, but certainly as you do this and it becomes all-consuming and you start to spend a lot of your money on it, I think you have to be really thoughtful about it.
You're absolutely right about it, but the poker players themselves are now becoming very famous, and they are getting deals just like Tiger Woods gets. Phil Ivey's another guy who looks like Tiger Woods, and of course he plays like Tiger Woods, very serious guy, wins a lot of money, and he's doing a lot of commercials for video games and the others. And I see the personalities of poker. I mean, they seem like they have a bigger, larger following than even some of the television stars. But at the same time, gambling is not good. You're right. You're absolutely right. Folks, coming up next is our conversation with Sukumar Srinivasan. He's the director of Indian Visions, and they're coming up with a film festival which will be shown today and tomorrow, so stay tuned. He will talk to you.
Well, that's all we have for you today, folks. Have a wonderful weekend.
Namaste.
Namaste.